All right. It's time for another edition of Cat Chat. I've got my favorite spud here. Air potato. No, don't leave, my friend. Please stay with me for Cat Chat. You've been here for a little while. Oh, Friday's not happy with his tail. I'm wearing my I Love Weenie t-shirt and my air potato hat. He's going to go take a break. That's all right. Don't growl at Spud Friday. It's okay, my friend. Oh, well, I guess we'll just deal with Friday herself. And we won't have Air Potato with us today. That's all right. He's down on the floor looking at me right now. Come on back up, Air Potato. Oh, well, he'll come if he wants. Um, but yeah, anyway, so I've got a little bit of news today. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about Biscuit. We're going to talk about my friend Brandon and the stray cat he's taking care of right now. And that's kind of a bit of an interesting story. More so about Brandon than the cat, but he's helping a stray cat right now. We're going to talk quickly about the gift opening event and maybe a little bit about the England trip and a couple other things in there. So stay tuned and stick around for the whole thing if you can. Maybe play it in the background if you have to. This could act as a pretty mellow one-person monocast podcast if you're interested in just listening to me, myself, Michael Sheldrake, the kitten farmer, chatting. You're in the right place. If you just want to make friends with a YouTube video, you're also in the right place. No harm there. Nothing wrong with it. So anyway, starting off with Biscuit, our foster cat. If it's your first time here, I'm currently fostering a cat that we're calling Biscuit, who may or may not be pregnant. And we're thinking because she's been here for a couple of weeks without, she may have grown a little bit, but without any significant size increase. We're thinking that maybe Biscuit, maybe she's not pregnant. So anyway, she's being fostered in the room right next door to me over there. And the big news for her is tomorrow I'm going to take her in. I'm going to take her to the vet tomorrow, 3 p.m. my time. Maybe today by the time you're watching this, because it is late at night for me, which means it may be the morning for you already. But I'm going to take her in for, I believe, a quick and dirty x-ray. No sedation. We don't want to spend too much, but the rescue wants to find out if she's pregnant or not, because if she's not, we're probably going to move her on. Don't be too disappointed about that. I know she's the subject of our current 24/7 live stream here on YouTube. Check my page for that after. It's always up. It's not always super exciting because it's just one cat right now. Normally we're raising kittens in there from birth to adoption. Right now it's just one cat. And if she's not pregnant, not much is going on. But we got a lot of friends in the chat. We have a lot of friendly people. There's always people in there chatting. We've made friends. And that's why we're having the UK England meetup next year. So yeah, I'm gonna take Biscuit for a scan tomorrow, 3 p.m. my time. So I'll probably leave around 2:15 or so stream time, and hopefully we'll finally have a definitive answer as to whether or not she is pregnant. And if she is, she'll come back and stay here. And if she isn't, she'll come back and probably be moved on afterwards. But if my foster coordinator says, hey, bring her to VOKRA right after, if she's not pregnant, then I might have to do that because I follow the rules, just because I'm on the board of directors, just because I'm the kitten farmer, just because I'm a very confident person, doesn't mean I get to do whatever I want. I got to follow the rules, and what my foster coordinator, Karen, says goes. Karen's one of the two VOKRA co-founders with Maria, who some of you may know from TikTok. And Karen is not on TikTok, but Karen is my foster coordinator, and she works with the medical team at our operations center. And she's pretty busy, so I don't like to fluff around with her too much because she doesn't have a lot of time for that. So stay tuned tomorrow to find out if Biscuit is once and for all pregnant. If you have not voted in the Discord your opinion, you should do that now. The link to the Discord is in the description of this video. I guarantee it. Moving right along. Quickly, I do want to mention that it is near the end of the year. We're December 20th now. Only 10 days left in the year, but yesterday I did at work have one final success. I had a listing in my hometown. Didn't get a lot of interest on it. But I had a few very interested people because it was a nice place on the pricier side, larger, newer condo. And we had an accepted offer, and last week we had to extend the conditions, meaning that they were not able to satisfy their conditions, things such as inspection, financing, reading the documents about the building, and stuff like that. So we extended them a few days. And in that time, they were actually able to finish everything up, cinch up the financing, get the appraisal done. And they removed subjects and put in their deposit, which always marks the firmness of the deal. The subject removal makes it a firm deal, meaning anything that the offer is subject to gets chopped off the contract. So it now becomes set in stone. And when that deposit money's in, that's kind of like the final cherry on the sundae. Now, if they don't bring in the deposit money, that doesn't mean they aren't bound by the contract, but usually it's pretty hard to get a judgment on them if they disappear. But long story short, in my illustrious 15-year residential REMAX real estate agent career, I've never had someone fail to complete, knock on wood. But let's not start now. But either way, they're excited for the home. It's a nice home, and they'll be moving in March after the tenant moves out. So that's my final success of the year. And I was really hoping to get it because right now, before that deal, I was sitting right on the cusp of the top 10% of agents in my area, in the Lower Mainland, Vancouver and surrounding areas. I was in the top 10%, but only barely. Only barely. But this one more deal, because it goes by closed deals, which this is considered a closed deal when the subjects came off and the deposit went in. And that one more deal should lock me up for top 10% this year, which is fantastic. Wasn't my best year, not even close, but obviously it wasn't anyone's best year because I'm in the top 10%, baby, and you can't pull me back. Now, that's not official until they release it next year, but I'm pretty confident I'm in, so that's great. And thank you for everyone who supported me, called me to help them buy their places. Special shout out to Victoria. Not my wife, but the Victoria who I met from my Michael Sheldrake TikTok cat account who bought a place. Special shouts out to Emma, who, along with her husband Sebastian, are involved in the Meow Fest that I spoke at this year, who also bought a place. Just kind of a fun, heartwarming year in general. So, I know you guys aren't here to talk about real estate, but that's my day job. That's what allows me to do this. That's what allows me to I love Weenie, because it pays the bills so that I can have this house and have the kitten room over there. So yeah, if you're looking to buy or sell a place, give me a call. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this Brandon fellow. And no, it's not the Brandon from my hockey team who you guys met on a previous live stream. This is Brandon, a best friend of mine from when I was growing up. Now, Brandon has a twin brother named Aaron, and together they were best friends of mine starting when we were 7 years old in elementary school, and we've stayed in touch since then. They're my longest tenured friends, though I will say now that I'm married and have a baby, and one of them, Aaron, he's married with his own children, and that we don't see each other as often. I was seeing Brandon even post-COVID here at the house, and he was helping with the cats before I was this tiny bit of famous. He was helping me out with the cats. He'd come in, we'd have dinner, he'd play with the cats and whatnot. But since then, life has changed for Brandon. He's had a tough time Um, Brandon had always had his struggles, his mental health struggles, his physical health struggles. Um, but he lives kind of far away, about 30 minutes away, and he doesn't have a car anymore, so he can't get around as easily because A, not a lot of money when you're on disability, and B, his back, he injured his back in his 20s. It's degenerative and he's doing very poorly physically, and because of that he's somewhat isolated now. He hasn't really been in a place where he's wanted to spend any time with his friends in the last year or two, so I haven't really seen him since my TikTok and YouTube success have taken off. He's a good guy though, always a friendly, calm guy who loves cats. They had a cat. He had a cat long before I did. Like, loved his cat long before I ever knew that I even liked cats. So maybe a very small influence in my life to Brandon, um, on the cat thing, because he definitely always loved his cat, who him and his brothers could never agree upon the name for. Brandon preferred Stimpy, and his little brother Calvin preferred Panther. So I don't know if they ever landed on what the official name was. I think they just never agreed for the entire life of this poor, beautiful black cat. But anyway, Brandon reached out to me yesterday because he's been caring for a stray cat lately, he says, which is, of course, talk to Michael Turf. So he reached out to me and talked to me about what he should do about this stray cat, whether or not he should make it like a little warming hut outside, um, you know, what type of supplies he should need, what he does, and anyway, so I told him like maybe instead of wasting like funds and resources, which he's short on, making a an igloo for it outside. Certainly he can do that. If the cat isn't an indoor cat, can't be rescued, certainly you can help cats that are stuck outdoors by giving them warm shelter with straw in the bottom. They say um, hay is for horses, straw is for strays, because straw doesn't, I guess, get wet and cold. It's a good insulator and stays dry. It doesn't absorb the moisture. So a lot of people suggest using straw. Oh, there's my baby on the baby monitor. Good thing I'm not on baby duty right now. But anyway, straw. The bottom, he could make one of those if he wanted, but apparently this cat is very tame. So I've told him, well, why don't you just work towards bringing it inside? I said, first of all, make sure it's not someone else's cat. Make sure it's not an owned cat that goes home every night and just visits him all day. But he says the cat comes and sits outside his house and is cold and wants to eat, always very hungry, which can be a sign of a stray. Like she'll eat an entire can of food if he puts it out. And she will come in the house, but she's not very comfortable there, so she still goes back outside. But I talked to him about how at our rescue, um, we bring in lots of outdoor cats. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, my cat's an outdoor cat; he can't come inside." Bullshit. He can. You just bring them inside, and after a little while, they don't care anymore. I know there's like the odd, like semi-feral or weird cat that spent 15 years outdoors that'll have some little problem with that, but we're talking about like 1% of the cat population, and that's not an excuse to pretend your cat is that 1% if they're not. You can have an outdoor cat. That's up to you. It's not what I personally subscribe to, but I don't mind if you have an outdoor cat as long as you understand the risks. You understand that there's a much shorter lifespan for an outdoor cat. There's a lot higher vet bills due to disease, fleas, fights, and other things that can happen to your outdoor cat. I don't trust my beautiful fluffy Peewee. Do you think I trust her outside with like cars racing around with kids who like to kick cats or BB guns out there? Not a chance. But anyway, so if you want to bring your cat in, you can. You just have to shut the door and teach him to stay inside from now on. Yeah, you got to scoop more poops, but you know what? That's not that bad. Scoop them once a day and you get in the habit pretty quick. Like right now, I'm actually out of the habit of scooping poops because we have so few cats here. You know how 4 cats is so few. So I'm only scooping every second day. That's probably a bad habit, but with the 8 litter boxes I have, there's just not a lot here. Air potatoes down below. Oh, we just jumped over my feet. But anyway, That's an aside. We're talking about Brandon's cat. So anyway, I suggested to him that he bring this cat indoors, and he's brought her in a couple times. He's getting her used to the idea of that, and I think that's a lot better than spending a couple $100 on supplies so that she can be warm outdoors. Just let her come in the house, no biggie. Um, so anyway, because of Brandon's unique situation with his back and disability and his segregation and lack of funds, and my personal love of cats and my wanting to help him have the cat around, because I think the cat he likes having the cat around, so we don't necessarily want to get it picked up by a rescue and adopted out. Like maybe this is a mental health cat for Brandon, help Brandon feel good. Come here, Air Potato. Don't just stand there. Come back up here. You can come up, Air Potato. Come on up. There's Air Potato's little head sniffing at Friday. Come on up. He's scared of her. She is the OG, and he is still scared of her, even though he's the bravest. But I'm just kidding. He's not really that scared of her, but he knows he's not supposed to be right next to her. If she growls, he'll just pap her in the face, and poor Friday doesn't like that one bit. But look at her snoozing away here. So yeah, so what in the end, I talked to some of my followers on Discord today, and we discussed what we could maybe do to help out Brandon. And because he's kind of isolated and I can't bring stuff to him regularly, we thought, well, why don't we get Brandon to set up his own little wish list? So we've got Brandon's wish list set up, and some loving people have already sent him a few cases of food, and so we're working on saving this stray. We're doing our very own rescue through Brandon, my friend. So that's pretty cool. He should be expecting some stuff even before Christmas. And if you want to help out Brandon, which is a nice thing to do, you can either check the Discord and find the link, or hopefully I can figure out how to put the link on the screen here somewhere. Is it there? I don't know, because I do that after the video is recorded. But if it's there, you can click that and go there. Make sure you come back and watch the rest of the video. But you can help Brandon by buying some of those things. And you know what? Feel free to add in some human snacks too. This guy is like, he needs it. He needs it more than we do. I'll put it that way. I'm gonna try to get out there this weekend and bring him a bunch of my actual supplies, because I got a boatload of cat stuff I can bring to him. Not necessarily the right food and stuff, but I can bring him, uh, you know, cat beds, uh, you know, furniture, toys, stuff like that. Um, and that would be good for him. Friday didn't like that one bit. Spud jumped over, but that created a good moment for you. Anyhow, so there we go. That's Brandon and the stray cat. It's a tabby female cat, if you guys are curious, and I did put pictures in the Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord, get on it, because as I said before, the link is in the description of this video. It's in the link that's called all the stuff. Like, I got a whole bunch of links that are behind one big link. You'll figure it out. And if you don't, you're probably not going to figure Discord out either, so that's okay. Um, in other news, Pee-wee is currently not wearing a donut or a onesie. Yay! Because as you know, I've talked about it before, Pee-wee had a hot spot, so she's been in a onesie for a couple weeks. Then she's been in a donut for a couple days, because I just didn't want her to continuously lick it. Well, today she got out of the donut, and she was licking herself and stuff, and didn't I checked it every little while, and it isn't raw at all. There's no scratches on it, so I'm thinking of leaving her out for now. She's a much different cat when she's out. She's more active. The donut and the onesie seem to make her stop doing anything. She becomes a suckhole. She sits on my lap, which is nice. But we want her to be free and play. She'll play with Air Potato a lot more when she's not in it. Speak of the devil, here he is right here, getting a little chin pat from me. Little Air Potato. Air Potato. And yeah, so hopefully she's through that, but I'm gonna have to keep checking her every day till the hair grows back to make sure she doesn't turn it back into a wound. So actually also about the holidays, because we're closing in on the old Christmas season here. I'm not a religious guy, but we did grow up with the tradition of Christmas when I was growing up. I pretty much finished my present purchasing. There's one gift left I got to buy, and I already know what I'm going to get. It's not hard to get, so I just have to pick that up in my travels, unless I come up with a way better idea than that. But it does feel good to be done, and now it is December 20th. It's a little late. I would have liked to be done sooner, but I'm done, and that is a weight off my chest. And thinking about Christmas presents, Boxing Day, or not Boxing Day, Christmas Eve is coming up, December 24th. And if you remember, Vancouver time, December 24th, 3 p.m., 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Los Angeles time, Vancouver time, West Coast time, North America, we're going to have our TikTok live event where we're going to open Christmas presents that people have sent. Now, hopefully I sorted the gifts out properly. I got as we were getting packages, I was having people tell me, "Hey, one came today, it's for Christmas, blah blah blah. Just cut open the box and look, it should be wrapped." Yeah. Okay, so I've been checking it. I do have a little pile of packages, and I think there's been at least one more package delivered to my office. So we do have enough, at least the starting of enough to do a little opening on uh, Christmas Eve, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Probably me, Vika, Dara. I'm guessing it'll be upstairs, not in the kitten room, probably near the tree or something. I don't know, with our cats. But if you're available, I hope you can be there. I know for you nasty little Australian spuds, that could be Christmas Day and maybe you'll be busy. But I'll post the replay on YouTube when it's over. And really, Auntie Linda's the one sending the most stuff anyway, and she's in the USA East Coast, so that's hopefully a good time for her so that she can watch. Thank you, Auntie Fluffy, as we like to call her. And beyond that, the only thing left to talk about today is the England trip, which I'm getting a lot closer to setting up an itinerary for. It looks like I will fly into London, land on February 14th, possibly stay in London that night or go somewhere else. Then on the 15th, me and some of the followers will drive up to Derby/Darby, depending on how you like to call it, to stay at a friend's home before on the 16th we drive over to York, where I will be for 2.5 days doing some festivities, and on each of these nights I'll probably go somewhere where people, if they're in that town, if they felt like meeting up with me, they probably could. I don't know how many randos are in Derby/Darby who know of Michael Sheldrake the kitten farmer on the 15th, but if there are, you can probably find a way to meet me. Drop me a line, and then I'll be in York for the evenings of the 16th and 17th, and on the 18th I believe I'll be dropped off in Leeds, where I'll stay for a night. Then I will train to Manchester, where I will stay for a night. Then I will train to, and this is still under review, probably Birmingham on the way back to London on the 20th, where I will stay for a night. And then I will be back in London on the 21st, where I will be going out for brunch with my friends/followers. And then in the evening, I will be having a little, I think it's a pub event at a place they affectionately call Spoons. I don't know the full name off the top of my head, but there's a full name, and it's in London. And apparently, that will be our location of our public meetup for my going away party from my uh, England only UK world tour. And hopefully, we'll get at least 3 to 5 people who are random and definitely not murderers coming out to say hi and shake hands with the kitten farmer. Maybe have a diet coke or a coffee or a brewski of choice, something like that. And I'm looking forward to meeting some people. It's a daunting thing going there, but I have supreme confidence and power will have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I think that as long as I meet, anywhere between 1 and 5 people per city, I will feel pretty cool about that. Maybe I'll get to stop into a cat rescue or two if I have a minute. Although looking at my itinerary, finding a minute is pretty hard, honestly. I should probably start scheduling bathroom breaks now because there's not a lot of time in there. But yeah, looking forward to that. So if you're in England and you have an idea of what I should do or where I should go or who I should do it with, Not like that. Not like that, you frisky little kittens. I know what you're thinking right now. I heard it too, but that's not what I meant. Make sure you drop me a line in the comments or DM me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And remember, I do have a wife and child. Anyway, this has been Cat Chat, and it's a pretty long one, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like it. And what's that other thing called? Like, share it with your friends. I know it's not a cool video to share, but maybe you'll get some kind of street cred for sharing a really long, boring video that you love. Like, that indie band that nobody listens to that only you discovered. I know all about that because I have about 15 of those. And follow the channel because normally we're raising kittens from birth to adoption. So if you stick around here, you're going to be here for the next set of kittens who are born, and we'll get to do it together. And you know what? It's always more fun to do it together. Right, frisky kittens? I know you think so. Anyway, this has been a blast. So make sure you click whatever links are on the screen or, join my Patreon or whatever. Watch some more videos when this is over, and I'll catch you later. Bye.